There's a point where it tips, there's a point where it breaks, there's a point where it bends, and a point we just can't take anymore. There's a line that we'll cross and there's no return. There's a time and a place, no bridges left to burn anymore. We can't just wait with lives to take until they think we're ready. Our enemies are gathering, our storm is blowing down. Now it's time to say goodbye to the things below and the innocence of God.
Hello.
And it's fixed.
Yeah. Sorry, computer crashed. I'm now speaking to you from my phone.
It's okay, it's okay. So, let's end this off here with the simple and easy to understand question, then we'll go to our community question. What did you think of the episode?
I think it displays a lot of promise for the future.
Well said, well said. All I'm gonna say is, Monty, don't fuck me up again. Good job. So, yeah. I'd say my community question of the day is, what did you properly think of the episode? And if you could, would you change it? Would you actually change it or leave it as it is? Simple question.
And mine would be, what food weapon would you use?
Well done, Redemption, for making up your own questions. So, there we go. That's the episode in a nutshell. We can't say what score we have because this isn't a proper review, this is just a reaction to it. So, I all hope that you had a pleasant time listening to us ramble and watching the pictures, because you know of copyright and whatnot, so I can't really go into much detail with it. So, for my outro, I just basically say have a good evening, night, whatever it is you're doing. Stay tuned for more videos, and check out Redemption and I. Redemption, say goodbye.
This is Redemption2. See you on your travels. Horrible Mode 1. You would need some type of...
Greetings all, my name is Ben, otherwise known as The Traveller, and today is slightly different, yet slightly not different. I have my friend Redemption here, so you say hello.
Hello.
Very...
It's Redemption2 here.
Yeah, you just...
Nice to be back.
Yeah, you're very back here. So, today we are talking about the not latest episode in the RWBY Volume 2 timeline. It's more of a diary entry on Dust, so we have more information on Dust. That's just Dust, that's it.
Yeah.
So...
What was the video, 2 minutes long?
2-3 minutes, from what I remember.
Yeah, it's all world building. I appreciate that they did it. Not so appreciative that they put it in the middle of the series. But hey,
it's good to see that they're actually putting effort into the actual lore of the world. So, if what you told me earlier was true, we're going to get some more of these. We could get a bit more insight onto, like, a lot more of how the world works.
Yeah, I saw the podcast before this one was released, and they said that they're planning maybe 3 more of these inserts before the end.
Oh, lovely jubbly, we get to break them apart as well. Right. Anyway, when Volume 2 arrives, I've got a lot to take out of that. Haha. So, let us begin with the main structure of Dust. If you want to take that away, since you know it better than I do.
Well, the main structure of Dust, it comes in 4 parts. It naturally occurs in nature as what appears to be fire, lightning, ice, and wind.
Pokemon. I'm saying that not subtly.
No, I feel more of like Last Airbender-ish kind of with that one.
Oh yeah, I really didn't get that connection then. I was just like, Last Air... Oh, you didn't mean the movie. Good. Anyway, yeah, so the 4 main versions of Dust are just like natural crystals. So they're like our world's equivalent of our diamonds and rubies and sapphires and whatnot, but they're elemental stones, which can be harvested.
Yes, and they're in a pure... like rocky state, at least from what they showed in that
Yeah, and they
animation thing.
Yeah, and also I don't know if you've actually mentioned this to me pre-version of this, but did you notice in the video that all 4 versions of the dust kind of had a symbol
Yes.
structure? Yeah.
That's why I'm going with those those four types.
That's what the raw version looks like.
Some people thought the one that the guy picked up was actually Earth, but then he started wielding lightning. So my guess is it's just lightning encased in rock.
Right. I would say that basically people use lightning dust. How would I say this correctly without messing this up? When people say that he picked up Earth dust, I didn't think it was Earth dust. I thought it was water for some reason, because there was this kind of like structure in it. There's kind of like this weird bond in it. We'll get into the bonds later, but I kind of see it as a bond because you actually mentioned that to me.
James Bond?
No words will be said from now on.
Okay.
Okay. So let's begin with the dust shop, if I'm right. So we're going chronological order from the actual volume 1.
Yeah, because I mean we've got the 4 main types of dust, but then they said that it can be combined mechanically or naturally. Now, one thing, right as they walk in, there's this big establishing shot of the dust shop, and there are like 12 jars, each with their own color ranging from red to blue to gray.
And you had a very interesting theory on what the grey one was.
Yeah, well, the thing is that typically when you're mixing chemicals and things like that, you need a catalyst. A way to combine them into more powerful forms. I'm thinking either like a dark gray or a light gray is a type of catalyst to mix dust together. Because if you look in the actual shop itself, there are all these tubes on the sides. One of the ones that's most full is the gray tube.
Also, speaking like that, you said there was like, if I'm right, different kind of shades of grey. No pun intended.
There are 2 shades of gray. One is lighter than the other.
Right.
Now, I mean, when you mix different colors together, if you mix a lot of them together, they create gray.
Yeah.
Like, if it's all in equal parts, it will create a gray. That's the basic color in Photoshop. But the thing is that there's also a lighter gray that looks like maybe that could be a catalyst. I don't know. It's just one of those theories that just doesn't make sense that they could just mix them together. And besides, you said, doing the math, if you combined the 4 types together, at least into 2 parts, you would get 16, in 16 different colors, yet there are only 12 on this shelf.
I'd actually like to say this now. I came up with this just a second now. Different shades. Now, I've got to think about this carefully. 16 versions. Let's just say those 16 versions are in a case of their own. They can be stacked into 3 categories in this cases. 3 different shades of red, 3 different shades of yellow, 3 different shades of blue, that kind of thing. Each time it gets darker, it gets stronger, like a bit more of a long-lasting effect. And if you go to the 4 stage, the 16, the extra 4 that we're talking about, what if they're not like we have like uranium, that kind of thing. It's too dangerous to have, but it can be done naturally by accident. They just keep that in storage away from others. It's just like that one tier of stage of dust which you cannot reach.
Yeah, and most dust is proven to be very volatile anyway. That's why they have it in special storage containers.
So that's why dust is like this. That would actually be the logical reason of why there's 12 dust tubes in that scene specifically.
Or it's extremely difficult to combine.
we haven't really seen how they combine it.
No,
So-
we don't. It's all theory at this point, but
Yeah.
I mean,
So we can't say it's all Skyrim-y magic, where you can just say hocus pocus and then magically it combines itself.
exactly.
So, again, as you said, it's all just speculation and theory. So,
But another thing that allies itself to this is the amount and variety of the dust crystals.
mhm.
Because in the shopkeep's display case, there are a distinct 8 colors.
Yeah, but that could be for display.
But the thing is, that's the entire display case. There are 8 colors: orange, dark red, gray, blue, a darker orange, green, yellow, and sky blue. If you look at, and the thing is, you can see his entire display case, and that's all that's in it.
Mhm.
So either those are his entire supply, but this place seems pretty darn fully stocked, or these are the most common types of dust available to get in crystal.
So, like for us, we have kind of fake diamondy things. How do I say that? You know, we have like pure diamond. Like, you can see through it, it's crystal clear, it's very cut correctly. They go for a lot of movie. But then you've got like the fake diamond, which looks very, very similar to it, but it doesn't have a lot of boron in it. So it's not really as rare, it's more common, and it can be human created pretty easily. I would say it's kind of like that. If dust can be manufactured, that is the most common combination that can be made by accident and given to anyone just simply without any, again, as I would say with the colour combination, long-lasting side effect. That would be the main combination.
Plus, there's this whole thing where it's cut versus uncut.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that.
I would think, in theory, uncut is more destructive, but cut is more controllable.
Hold on. I think you're going to say this now, but if you do, I will say it right now. You remember when Roman says goodbye red and then just throws the dust at Ruby?
Which is an uncut crystal.
Yeah. But it lands on the ground and then you can just shoot it and it'll explode in a very actual big explosion. Would you say was that uncut or was that cut?
That was an uncut crystal. He was holding that uncut crystal throughout the while Ruby was dealing with his henchman in the shop.
So it looks like uncut dust can be not controlled, but slightly damaged and won't go off automatically. It can at least be controlled in that sense.
Yeah, I think the crystal is a more stable form, but it's I would say kind of like maybe the uncut is like TNT.
Okay. So it will just go off when I don't know how to say that.
When triggered.
Yeah. So in this case, it would have been Roman's flares.
Mm-hmm.
I call them flares. That's what they look like to me.
Right.
So do you want to move on to the second episode?
Yes. Let's talk about Ruby and her crater face.
Oh, lovely. I didn't get to do any jokes with that, so one day I'll get to that. So go on.
Well, let's talk about what Weiss is doing with that little jar. She's shaking it. Dust is coming out of it. And then Ruby does something as simple as a sneeze. And it goes off into 3 distinct forms of energy: fire, electrical, and ice.
So that dust, so that's in the powdered form, let's say it is, can be triggered very easily with a sneeze, but can be combined very easily, because I think I'm right. The powder in there is red that she was.
It is a very deep red.
So
it's almost to the deep of the burn crystal, but not quite.
So let's use maths again for this, just as numbers actually helped me today lately. So let's just say that the red is 6 and then the rest are like 2. There's more red in it than the others. That's why there's a larger scale of red than there is lightning and ice.
Yes.
So...
But it also proves that it can be mixed into... that 3 of them can be mixed together, not just 2.
I wonder if dust can be turned into a milkshake. It can go into a powder.
Well, how are they going to fuse it with their own bodies?
I don't know, but I want to find out.
Sometimes I'm not sure we want to know how to find out on that one.
Pin down Weiss and let's find out.
Well, I don't think Weiss combines it with her body though.
Well, that would be a good test subject though. She doesn't have it combined with her body. That way we can find out what happens. Anyway.
But what's interesting is that, I mean, obviously since Weiss brought that with her, that's one of the types that she uses.
Yeah, because isn't her weapon like have dust capsules in it that she uses with her sword?
Yes.
So, hold on, there's like several versions of it in the white trailer.
Well, I mean, she loads a different one into each slot.
I don't think she loads it. It's preloaded, isn't it?
Well, there's a theory going around where she can actually, like, remove the hilt and load another cartridge.
That quickly?
Well, yeah, just pop it open, pull one out of her pack. She has a pack. And just plop it back in and chink, ring.
Sound effects, I guess. Yeah, let's see that later on. I've got some speculation to get doing. So that is dust, but there was more to that, because when she was saying, what are you doing, and do you know what this is? Dust, fire, lightning, energy. When she says energy, it makes me think of like our electricity, like our hydro-powered electricity and things like that, or like Voltorbs in Pokemon if you want to be nerdy Pokemon things.
Well, I mean, remember, Jen Taylor did say energy propellant.
Oh, yeah.
So the entire thing is made up of energy in some form. I'm sure that there's people who are using fire dust to cook up food in an oven.
Oh yeah, that would work. That would make sense. But there's also one thing that I want to say, and I know this is like a very bad nitpick to the whole of Volume 1 and not in Volume 2 as what I've seen. How come dust doesn't affect the surroundings after? Answer that.
Well, we don't know. It could be like the red GN particles in Gundam 00.
Damn it. Someone bypassed it. Why? Well, I guess that will just... Hold on. Animation error then. We'll just go there. Or what you said. Why do you have to be so smart?
I'm sorry?
Nothing. I said nothing. Anyway.
Okay, thank you, Colonel Clink.
Oh, ha.
So...
Anyway, so that was dust in its more powdery form. But there are loads more versions of it as what we've seen. Mostly in the mechanical sense.
Well, we don't know what they're using in it.
Well,
but yes, they did say it's being worked into every facet of technology.
They use it for lights. They use it for ammo.
But the question is, how do they combine it for the holograms?
Logic.
Failure.
Okay, yeah, go on.
Logic failure.
Logic failure. Yeah, but again, Ruby doesn't follow physics, so we'll give it that one as a slip. I still think, though, they shouldn't be holograms. They should be proper lights. Holograms make no sense to me. So, yeah, but it can be used in bullets. It's used in lighting. It's what else have I seen it in? It's also used in kind of iPad-y things. I'm guessing of that.
Yeah.
And I won't go into the Force set because that will be we'll talk about that later on, actually. But I can actually say this now because I've studied Ruby's weapon a slight tad. Thanks to Grim Eclipse, it's kind of helped me. You know about the different types of ammo Ruby has in Grim Eclipse. You've got the normal ammo, and then you've got like the winter ammo, things like that.
Yeah, but then again, that was all before there was an established lore.
Yeah, but with this, it kind of wants to make you think that Ruby would actually have different ammo clips with different elemental ammo.
Or different potency, like when she reloads with the burn cartridge for her final attack.
Yeah. So we can also say this with we can't say it with Blake because even she would agree that she doesn't use any other type of dust because she doesn't really afford that kind of dust, so she just uses normal.
Whatever normal is.
Yeah, we don't know about that. Weiss is more or less like a blank slate. We know that she uses multiple kinds of dust, which means it doesn't really matter what she uses. Then you have Yang, who would you say uses like extreme fire dust in this cases?
No, I would say she would actually use a weaker fire dust because I think if she used a stronger one, she would 1, burn her hair off, and 2, probably cause an explosion the size of an atomic bomb.
Well, she did cause an explosion in the Yellow trailer.
Yep.
Yeah, so that explains a lot actually. And I really don't know why her semblance is what it is.
I call her semblance Berserker.
I don't know what to say really about it.
But let's talk about what we've seen for the dust usage so far.
Go on.
I mean, for Roman's Cane, I would say that's, considering it's actually shooting a type of burning projectile, I would think that might be a cut crystal.
Okay.
Cinder, she obviously has her at least some fire dust woven into her clothing.
So, I would like to go to the powder actually. Would you say like, you know how like dandruff can get into clothing and you would see it so you can wipe it off, that kind of thing?
No, I don't have dandruff.
Okay, well I guess I'm the only one that would say this then. Dandruff as like kind of white little flaky things that can come off your hair, if you don't know what that is, essentially can fall off and you'll be able to see it on your clothing. Kind of like snow. It can also be put into your clothing. Like if you leave it there for long enough, it can settle into your clothing until you wipe it off. Now, I think I'm right with this. In her actions in the first episode, she does kind of like a swoop of the arm motion before activating the pyrokinetic. Like she rubs her left arm.
And the lace on her clothes glow.
Yeah. So, we could say it like this. Powder dust is put onto her clothing and she activates it via like rubbing her arm to actually gather the powder and using kind of a telekinetic ability to at least control the dust.
Well, I mean, if she's pyrokinetic, then she can control it anyway, if that's her semblance. But if she's using it, remember, it's all aura activated. It's not like she has to gather it. But if it was woven into her clothing, she would have a supply of it at the ready at any point.
So that was Cinder, but there's some others. We've gone Team RWBY, so that's them done.
The other person that we see in episode 1 that uses dust is Glinda.
Oh yeah. But what kind of dust does she use?
It's a combination, I would think.
Making a purple kind of color that's a shield.
If that